Inequalities are expressions using some symbols like this one. In this one you can see that g is a variable that is less than 2, p is a variable that is greater than -1, x is a variable that is less than or equal to -3, and finally z is a variable that is greater than or equal to 4. In the first two examples, you can see that the boundaries or the limits are not included. So these two symbols suggest an open circle. So if we take a look at the first one, that is for g, we have a number line, 0 as the reference. To the right of 0, we have 2. And since the inequality says that g is any number less than 2, this one goes to the left. So here I can draw my solution set in this direction. So any number that is to the left of 2 could be a possible solution. Examples: 1, 0, -5, -1 million, etc. In the second example, we have p as the variable here represented on this number line, and that is greater than -1. So on the number line we can place -1, and the solution set will be drawn to the right, since p is any number greater than -1. So in that case we draw our solution set to the right. And the third example, we have that the variable is -3 compared to -3, and this variable is any number to the left of -3, since it is less than or equal to -3. So here on the number line, -1, -2, -3. In this case, since we are including the boundary, the circle has to be solid, since here in the inequality we are including the possibility for the variable to be equal to -3. So in this case, since that is less than, it goes to the left. And this one finally is the variable z. Our reference is 4. So placing 4 on the number line, here we are including a solid circle because the limit, that is 4, is included. And it goes to the right, which is something like this. If we take a look at the 4 examples, we can also draw those ones in interval notation. Since this one begins in the infinity, we know that infinity has no limits. So negative infinity is the beginning, and the end, or the boundary or limit, is 2. But since in this case 2 has an open circle, is not included, that's why we need to use a parenthesis here. Remember that when we have comparison symbols like these two, less than or greater than, we have to use parentheses. In this one, our variable p is from -1 and any number greater than. So that extends to positive infinity. And of course, since in this case we have an open circle, the limit -1 is not included. And of course to the right, nobody knows where it ends, so it extends to positive infinity, and of course it doesn't have a limit. In this case, things change a little bit. This inequality starts in the negative infinity, so it starts here and it ends right here at -3. As we know, negative infinity has no limit, so that's why we have to use a parenthesis there. But since the limit -3 is included, we should use a bracket here. On the other hand, if we compare this one to the last example, our variable c extends from 4 to the positive infinity. So we start at 4, and that one extends ever to the right. So it is necessary here to include a bracket, since the 4, which is the boundary or limit, is included. And as we know, neither negative infinity nor positive infinity have a limit.